Welcome, everyone. Today we are chatting about how yoga can reduce stress and boost your immune system. That is where we're at. My name is Nina Sachs. I'm a yoga teacher and health coach, and I'm so glad that you are here. Let's get straight into this topic. Yoga, can it help reduce stress? Can it help boost your immune system? Yes, and yes. And why is this important? How does this happen? And what is the whole story? So let's get going. First of all, this has been a bit of a topic that I have been delving into because of being a little bit fluey and sick. And I was just wondering, how is that? Because Craig and me, probably for the last 2-3 years, haven't really been sick, and then we did a lot of traveling and flying, and that definitely impacted our immune system. Not just that, but our stress levels also went up, because as you can imagine, when you are traveling a lot, when you're eating the type of foods that you normally wouldn't, maybe a lot more sugars, maybe you're staying awake a lot more, maybe an extra drink here or there that you normally wouldn't do, your immune system is going to take a little bit of a dive and your cortisol levels are going to rise. So when stress is in our life, then it tends to raise our cortisol levels. Now, cortisol is great for those short fight and flight situations where we need to run away from the saber-toothed tiger, something like that. Pop in the comments what the real meaning is, or what the phrase is. But if you need to run away from that lion, if you need to run away from that snake that has just given you a bit of a fright, not that you should run away from snakes either, Nina, not doing well this morning. Anyway, but you get what I'm saying. When you need that boost of kind of like adrenaline, that's when cortisol is really helpful. The problem that is happening with us now is that our cortisol levels just keep rising and rising, and we don't have a chance for the cortisol levels to come down. So, for example, I love nature examples because we head out into the bush quite a lot. And there you'll notice, or you'll see in nature, when a buck gets chased by, say, a lioness, it's usually the lionesses that are doing the work. When this buck is being chased, say it's an impala, and it gets away, it needed a big boost of cortisol. It needed a big boost to kind of like run away from this chasing lioness. And then afterwards, what you'll see it's doing, it's just going to stand still and it's going to shake. And it just tremors. And that's why practices like TRE have become very popular around, because it's kind of like bringing in that same concept to us, where we are tremoring, we're shaking out the stress from our body. And then that is often the way that the impala or the buck will work through the stress that it has just experienced, the cortisol level in its body, to bring it back down to homeostasis. Now, we can use practices like yoga to do that for us, but often what we don't do, we just go through life. And what happens is that our cortisol levels build and build and build and build, and we never actually really bring them down. Our body doesn't know what not being in the stress, flight, or fight or flight mode is actually about. And so there's certain things that happen when cortisol rises. So what happens is that it can increase blood sugar. And that signs to kind of like the liver that it needs to release more glucose, kind of like more sugar into the system, so that it gives you that quick energy boost. And this is useful if you need to run away from that lion or the lioness, and you need that sugar to do that. But it is not useful if it is in your system all the time, because that just means that you're going to have elevated blood sugar levels. And obviously, we know that that can lead to diabetes and a whole load of other health issues, like, number 2, your immune system being suppressed. And so high levels of cortisol reduce that effectiveness of your immune system, and it makes it harder for your body to fight off infections. So when you have that suppressed immune system, then again, and you have that regularly day after day after day, that is going to, again, impact your overall health, and is going to impact your ability to heal. And so again, so a lot of stress impacts your cortisol levels, which is going to impact your immune system. Not just that, it's also actually going to impact your digestive issues. And so what you may notice is that we can deal with high levels of stress for an extended amount of time. But then kind of like maybe you go through it through your 20s, your 30s, and then your 40s. And as you maybe like heads into perimenopause and things like that, you notice that, digestive issues are starting to come. And that's just because those stress levels have started to elevate and elevate and elevate. And cortisol can slow down your digestion because your body prioritizes immediate survival over long-term processes like digestion. And so that can lead to things like stomach problems and also decreased nutrient absorption. So in Ayurveda, we talk a lot about the tongue and we look at tongue diagnosis. And one of the things is that if your tongue has like scallops, it means that your body is not actually able to absorb nutrients. And that can be due to high levels of ongoing stress. So that is something to consider. So you may think like, well, Nina, I'm taking in, I'm eating the best foods, I'm eating nutrient-dense foods, I'm not eating all the crap out there. But have you checked your levels of stress, and have you checked your levels of stress over the months and years in the past? Because maybe there is stress that is sitting in your system, and that is impacting digestion and your ability to absorb. So it's never just like a quick fix or a one kind of like solution to the problem. There's so many layers to it. So let's just go through two more because I think these are quite helpful. And another thing with cortisol is that it can increase your heart rate and your blood pressure. So cortisol makes your heart, your heart pump faster and reduces your blood pressure. And that, again, is one of the things that, if you need to run away from that lion, yes, you need the blood to be kind of like pumping through your body and signaling for your muscles to move. But if it's continuously doing that and it's not ever slowing down, again, that's going to impact your immune system and total longevity and overall health. And then lastly, it impacts the changes in your mood and your sleep. And high levels of cortisol can definitely affect how you feel. And it can lead to things like anxiety and depression and disrupted sleep patterns. And we all know that the number one thing for stress is sleep, getting good, healthy, full, nourishing sleep, like a good 8 hours of proper sleep. And if we're not getting our good 8 hours of proper sleep to reduce stress, we're not helping ourselves. And we all think that, 5-6 hours, that's okay, I'm doing quite good. But we actually all need to go a little bit further so that we can start to recuperate and improve our body health. Okay, so now we've chatted a lot about cortisol. So how does yoga help you with this? Well, firstly, when you're practicing yoga and you're practicing slow hatha yoga, you're working your body, and this is actually and you're opening up and you're closing. So with your muscles, you're actually creating a lot of movement, and that can release physical tension from your body, which is great. And that then allows your body to relax. And when you relax, then you're able to sink into your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest. And that's why practices like deep breathing in yoga are so beneficial and highly recommended. Because when you exhale, the slow, long exhalation, again, it takes you in that calming state. Or practices like Brahmari, the bee breath, where you may be tapping by your thymus gland, just helping to boost those T cells to move around your system. So there's so many beautiful individual practices and groups of practices in the realm of yoga that can be helpful to reduce stress. The most probably common or the most familiar or the most spoken about are practices like meditation, but more specifically yoga nidra, which is kind of like that deep yogic state of rest and sleep, psychic sleep we call it often. And what that does, it just slows everything down mentally as well. So you're giving yourself the 10, the 20, 40 minutes in the afternoons is lovely. If you've got high levels of stress, You want to try and take 40 minutes, do a 40-minute yoga nidra in the afternoons, just to use yoga as a stress reduction. Now, this is where the challenge comes regularly. Going to your yoga class once, maybe twice a week is fantastic. Keep doing that. But you need to start doing a practice at home. And it doesn't have to be like a full hour class in the mornings or your evenings, but you want to do a little practice here and there, especially at the times when you're noticing that you're a little stressed, especially the times when you're noticing that you're wanting to grab that sugary chocolate or cookie or something like that to give you the boost of the energy. Then you're realizing you're pushing beyond what your body is capable of, what you're ready for and able to do. And so that's when you want to take a step back. You want to do your deep breathing. You want to do a yoga nidra practice. And that's how you slowly start to build yoga into your everyday life. And you start to bring things back into balance in a very natural and holistic manner without having to force or push or strain your body in difficult ways. So that is my tip for you on how yoga can reduce stress and boost your immune system. Be sure to get to your yoga mat sometime today. It would be very useful. There are plenty of yoga classes on my channel here, which you're welcome to participate in. And remember, you're welcome to head to my seasonal DIY seasonal reset. It's a free training and it'll give you the 10 steps that you can put together so that you can create a 7-day seasonal reset for yourself and just to take a chance to reset your system. So if you're feeling that you need to just kind of like get yoga to give you a bit of a boost, maybe do that for 7 days and head over and watch that seasonal reset. We'll catch you again tomorrow for another one. Cheers.